questions about
I'm gonna answer
going to school. You can be sophisticated if you want. So, okay, Rogelio, but pretend this is, put this right close by you, okay? All right, so you gotta tell me, what's your name?
Rogelio Chavez.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
And what grade are you in?
I am in 5th grade.
Okay. And Rogelio, when you were little, did you speak mostly Spanish or English?
I speak both equally.
What about when you were very little?
I suppose I speak a little bit more English because I used to watch English cartoons.
But when you talk to your mom and dad?
Spanish.
You talk Spanish to both mom and dad? Dad too?
Yeah.
You talk English to your mom and dad?
But just a really little bit.
To who?
A little bit.
To both? When you talk English to your mom, what do you talk to her about?
I like about what's going on.
Like going on where?
Like in the house, what's gonna happen, or what are we gonna eat?
What are we gonna eat? Okay.
Or
And what about when you go to school? What do you speak, Spanish or English?
English.
Did you ever have to take Spanish classes at school?
I used to take bilingual.
What's that?
Bilingual when the teacher used to be like talking to you like in Spanish and English.
How old were you?
I was like in kindergarten.
Just kindergarten?
I don't remember the other grades, but it was like maybe 1st grade, kindergarten, and pre-K.
Kindergarten, so when you were very little.
Yeah.
Is that like your brother right now? Okay. And then when you were little, who used to help you with your homework?
My mom. And a little bit my sister.
A little bit of your sister? Okay. And then who helps you with your homework now?
My sister.
Your sister?
And Masa.
What does Masa help you with?
A lot of my hard homeworks. Like the ones I need help with, Masa helps me a lot.
Like the words you need help with, what do you mean?
No, not like the homeworks.
Like which ones do you need help
Math, sometimes history or science.
with? Alright. What about like the writing? Does writing help you with the writing?
Literature.
Okay.
Because I know how to spell more words now because they help me.
What about in Spanish? Do you read and write in Spanish?
I could read in Spanish, but not write really good in Spanish.
Okay. But when you were a little kid, who used to help you with your homework besides your sister? Was it just your sister?
My mom.
Your mom? What did your mom help you with?
All my homework. But when sometimes he didn't know or I didn't know, my sister would help us.
Nice. So does your mom still help you sometimes? Yeah? What does she help you with?
Like sometimes like with division or multiplication.
So with the math, but not with the writing? No? How come?
Because she can only read Spanish and only a little bit of English.
But does she help you with the Spanish? She tries to help you with the English?
Like read in Spanish. Like if I would want to read in Spanish, she would help me a little bit.
And do you ever help her try to learn English?
Like if my brother, like if she's reading a book with my little brother, she would ask me how to pronounce this word and I would tell her.
Oh, okay, so you help her a little bit? And what about, do you ever have to translate for your mom for things?
Sometimes.
Like where?
Like if we go to a store and it's only me and my mom doesn't know how to speak English, and I'll say to my mom what the other person said, and I would tell the other person what my mom said, and translate for both of the people.
How does that make you feel when you translate for your mom?
It makes me feel like I know more Spanish. It feels like I would like I helped my mom with something.
How does that make you feel when you help your mom?
It makes me feel proud.
Really? Why?
Because I'm doing a good thing and doing something good.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. And let's see. What do you prefer to speak more, English or Spanish?
English. No, I would actually like to speak both of them equally.
Why?
Because I like Spanish and I like English.
Okay. All right. But you can't write Spanish, or you can?
A really little bit.
A really little bit? Where'd you learn how to write it? School?
My mom.
Your mom taught you that?
And a little bit my dad too.
Okay. Rogelio, where were you born?
In New York.
In the Bronx?
Yep.
Okay. And then, you ever been to Mexico?
Yep.
Where did you go to in Mexico?
What do you mean?
Like what city or what town?
It was a little town.
Where?
In Mexico.
In Puebla?
Yep.
Is it from where your mom and dad are from?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about that place?
I liked it
Why?
because there was new people I didn't see before, and I could see animal rodeos.
Yeah? And you only spoke Spanish there, right?
I said with my cousins,
Your cousins speak English? Okay.
like my cousins from New York.
Oh, the young ones. The ones from New York. Okay. And then, what do you think about the people who live in Mexico?
This looks different from New York.
Like, what's different about it?
Like the place looks different. The people look different.
The people look different? What do they look like?
Like they're a little bit darker skin,
Uh-huh.
and some people they dress a little different.
Uh-huh. All right. You want to go back?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We might go this year. I mean next year, because we're collecting money.
All right. So you call yourself a Mexican, or you say you're American?
Mexican.
Mexican. What does it mean to be a Mexican?
Like Spanish.
Speak Spanish? What else?
And I know a lot about animals that we don't see in New York.
Oh, okay. Like what? What do you mean?
Like bulls, horses, chickens,
Oh, the things you saw in Mexico.
and donkeys.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And let me see. What about with your little brother? Do you ever help your little brother with his homework? How do you help him?
Like when he doesn't know something, I would help him. Or if he doesn't know how to read the book, I would help him. And sometimes he would read me his books.
He reads to you. All right. Okay. So let's see. Araceli's here too. I see. Hello, my friend. I need to get one of these from you too, by the way. But let me ask you, since you're right here, since you're the oldest one, you're the oldest one. So do you ever have to help your mom with these two guys?
Yeah.
How do you help your mom?
Well, when she needs like a translation in the papers, I have to like give her the translation in Spanish.
What kind of papers are you talking about?
Like school forms, their homework, what their homework is, and explain to her how she can help him.
So you give her some advice sometimes?
Not really, because I'm just trying to tell her what the homework is about. So it's not really an advice.
All right. But you say that, I mean, when you give her the translations, what kind of things are you translating specifically? Like, are they, I don't know, discipline reports, report cards?
Like permission slips to go to field trips, or like his homework is in English, and my mom wants to know what he's gonna have to do, or like those slips of paper that say, this day we don't have any school or something like that.
Well, let me ask you this then. When you were little, like this guy, who used to help you with your homework?
Like in the math, my parents, or my older cousins, my uncles.
What about the language stuff?
Well, I hadn't, my mom's younger brothers, they were able to come to high school here, so they learned a bit. And then my cousins, they were also in like middle school already, so they helped me as well. My grandpa was a bit of English.
So like your relatives who are older than you helped you?
Yeah.
All right, all right. So I don't know, have you ever been frustrated because your parents don't speak English?
Yeah.
How or when?
Well, sometimes when, like let's say they had to go to the parent-teacher conferences, I wouldn't want to go because I was already in school the whole day.
Yeah.
And then I have to see the teachers again. And
Wait,
then,
why would you have to go?
because my parents wouldn't know what the teachers are saying.
So you had to translate?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't want to be there because you were there all day?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, what about when the teacher was saying bad things about you? Did you tell them that part, or would you change things?
No, I tell the truth. I mean, I don't really give problems to teachers or anything. The only thing they might say is they talks a lot or something. So I'm not really scared about going to the teacher and being like, oh, these are my parents or not.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you guys, what does your mom tell you, or your mom and dad tell you about going to school?
She tells us to like take the opportunity because they didn't take it, and
What do you mean?
like since my parents they didn't get to like a higher education, they said to like go for it because they're in a bad situation and they want it to be something bigger than what they imagined.
Sure. Okay. Is that a lot of pressure for you?
Sometimes, and sometimes, sometimes the pressure's on me because I know I want to do good, and then I want to make them proud.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Okay. What about you, Rogelio? What does your mom tell you about going to school? Your mom and your dad.
Do good in school.
Why?
So, so I don't get bad grades.
But why do you have to get good grades?
So I could get a good college and a good job.
Of course. All right. All right. So, Araceli, what about you, my friend? You went to Mexico too? What did
Yeah.
you notice about Mexico that's different?
There's like a lot more poor communities,
Yeah.
and well, I feel bad because we live in a better situation than they do, and sometimes it's like, wow, you really don't see that a lot, and a lot of people don't do nothing about that.
What do your cousins think about you that live in New York? The cousins who live in New York.
Well, I guess I think that we're lucky that we're in a big city, that we have like a better opportunity, that we have nicer clothes and all of that.
Okay. All right. And then what about you? Do you read and write Spanish too?
Yeah.
And where did you learn how to read and write Spanish?
Well, my parents, they would read to me like Spanish books, or I'd watch TV with them and I'd learn with that.
Right. And when you started school, were you only in Spanish? Did you start school like bilingual, like Rogelio would say?
No,
No? English only? Or
I think so.
yeah. So did you have any trouble at first when it was all English?
No.
You already had some exposure. Okay. All right. So compared to your cousins, when you say you're doing pretty good in school,
Which
the
cousin?
cousins who live here.
Cousins that live here.
Yeah, New York.
I guess we're on the same range because they came to school here and they were born here. So yeah, I think that we're on the same range.
Okay. And you have plans to go to college too, right?
Yeah.
What do you think you want to study?
I don't know. I have interest in like psychology, law.
Good. All right. Very good. Very good. What would you say has been for you? How do I put it? You don't really come to Masa as much, but what did you notice about this place?
That it helps a lot of kids and it helps a lot of mothers have less pressure on them because they're like, oh my God, my children, they don't know. How am I gonna help them? What am I gonna do? Are they just gonna fail their classes because of me and whatnot?
Right.
And I think it's a better opportunity, and a lot of people should know more about this because, well, it gives them like a relief to know that their children are learning.
Sure.
And yeah.
All right. Rogelio, what do you think? Do you like that Masa has mostly Mexican people?
Yeah.
Why do you like that?
Because I'm related to them maybe, like I get in common with them.
Okay. What about when the people help you? They're Mexican. Do you like that? Why?
Because they remind me that in USA there's still Mexican people.
All right. You know a lot of Mexican people in college?
Yeah.
You do?
Only like a little bit.
Okay.
3.
And what about you, Araceli?
What?
You know lots of Mexican people in college?
3.
My cousins.
Your cousins? Anybody else besides them?
Not really.
Have you ever had any teachers who are Mexican?
One of my teachers currently, he's half Mexican, I think.
Yeah. What class is that?
The chemistry class.
Okay. He's half Mexican. What do you mean you think?
Because I don't remember. He told us he was, because he's Mexican and someone from Central America.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's see, my friends. I think that's pretty good for today. Lastly, I gotta make sure I get you to
Why
sign
do you have
these
to
things here.
record it?
Because what happens is I record it, and later on I go home, and I listen to it, I type it up. So that way I can use you like a quote. Ah, yes, it's pretty cool, right? Someday you guys can all do this too.
So can I read
Hold on
your
a second,
book?
don't go, Mark.
Can I read your book?
All right. When I'm finished,
Can I read? You're gonna do how many colors are gonna make?
like when it's done, I'll give you guys a free one. Someday.
Only me.
No, I'll be good. Everyone who helped me.
How is the cover gonna look?
I don't know yet, dudes. So,
Wait, what's the cover?
you're not 18.
Wait, what's the title? Steve.
What?
You see right? The pictures, the marathons, the hair.
Oh yeah, maybe.
What's the
Maybe.
title?
Right now, it's called this. Brokering literacies.
What does that mean?
It means, for example, that because you're the little kid, that's kind of like what your sister said, that there's the teacher. Sometimes the teacher speaks English, and then the mom will speak Spanish, and the little kid has to go between both. Right?
So
So you got to help your mom and the teacher. So I'm trying to figure out how that stuff works.
Have you ever seen that commercial where the little girl is translating between the mom and the teacher, and the girl has bad reports, so then she tells her mom, yeah, I'm doing really good. The teacher says I'm wonderful in class.
What's the commercial? What are they selling?
It was like a few years ago.
I'll have to look it up. I'll see. You remember if you know what the product was. But so you can read this over, and you'll see the way the study is structured is kind of like anthropology. You know what that is, right? So basically, what I'm doing is I'm writing here, observing masa, and I'm trying to write about how programs like this, like you said, can help people. But as you may have noted, masa doesn't really have a lot of money. So kind of the way for people to understand, like, Mexican people want to do good in school too. A lot of people don't think that's the case. A lot of people think that. Yeah, well also, but like for example, a lot of times the teachers think that the parents they don't want to help the kids. They think the parents just aren't interested. But like you see here, look at all these parents who are here, right? So if teachers, they knew about this, they might think different. So that's kind of what I'm trying to present with some of this stuff.
We can show every school in the Bronx. You could give a little flashback.
Little flashbacks? So here's the stuff out of study, since I already taped it, sorry. So there's the gold thing. But basically, all this stuff, I gave a copy to your mom as well. It tells you all the information and where I'll be using it. If you have any questions, right here is my email. And these are a professor I'm working with. And this is another woman who's also a professor. So if you have any questions,